My name is Paige DeMarco. I have 4 children, 2 that are away at college, one that commutes to college, and one that has finished college and has moved out.
All right, so my name is Sandy Polton. I have 2 children, one who is 23 and has already started his career, so he is basically on his own. And my 18-year-old daughter is away at college for the first time.
Before my children left, it was a very chaotic, fun, busy life, going to appointments and soccer games and cheerleading. And it's very busy.
Before my kids went off to college and their own lives, the house was very loud. There was lots of activity. We had a schedule of events where pretty much every single night there was something going on, and our weekends were full of sports and driving them places and very little time to ourselves. So we were very busy when our kids were growing up, almost too busy.
I'm a flight attendant, and often my friends will ask me, am I excited about empty nesting? And I'm not. I don't like the quietness. I prefer to have company around, and I prefer to have the girls here with me.
Over the years, I've heard about the idea of empty nest syndrome, and I've kind of dreaded it because of the things I've heard. And I definitely do agree that it is something. It's definitely strange when you go from having a very, very busy life that revolves completely around your children to feeling like you don't really have, I don't want to say a sense of purpose, but you don't really have this, you're not really needed anymore in that same way. So it's definitely something that takes a lot of getting used to.
I didn't realize that empty nesting until after my last daughter went off to college. Before that, she was here, there was somebody coming and going, but once she had gone off to school, everyone was gone. So I'd have to say, when my last child went off to school, I started feeling it.
The first time I felt truly the empty nest syndrome was probably the day after my daughter left for college, and I walked by her room and it was quiet and it felt empty. I think we also recognize it in the evenings when my husband and I are like watching TV and nobody is bitching about what we're watching or telling us to turn the channel, and we can just kind of watch what we want without complaints. I think just one of the probably the weirdest was when I wanted to go shopping and I had no one to go shopping with. I had to go all by myself. So that was probably the one time I really missed my daughter, because she goes shopping with me.
Before all my children were going off to college, friends would say to me, you know, how difficult it is when they empty nest. My friend Russ was very distraught and just didn't know what to do once his children left. He was very sad. One of the hardest things about empty nesting is that the bedrooms, the girls' rooms are empty. So instead of changing them and making them into an office or a guest bedroom, I just leave the bedrooms the same as they left them, because I'm always open to them coming home.
Previous to my own experience with empty nest syndrome, I think probably the best advice came from my mom, who always told me as the kids were growing up that someday I would miss all the craziness and someday I would miss not having moments to myself and my life revolving around the kids' activities. And now I definitely know what she meant and how she's felt these past years when all of us moved out. And even how she feels as a grandma watching her grandkids move on and move away as well. So I think my mom was probably the one that introduced me to the concept of empty nest syndrome and showed me how it was going to feel, kind of prepared me for it.
Some of the ways I found to cope with empty nesting is I FaceTime the girls a lot. When their college, university has football games, I'll go up and watch the games on the weekends. The one daughter school is up near New York, so sometimes I'll go up to New York and meet her up there. I find time to spend with them outside of being at home here.
To cope with empty nest syndrome, I think probably one of the nicest things is FaceTime. I keep in touch with my daughter pretty much on a daily basis. And then we even try to go out and visit her occasionally and bring her home when she can. Other than that, just keeping busy, trying to find other ways to occupy my time, some new interests possibly. Spending time with my husband.